You know, a couple of people have asked me to talk about my own twin flame journey. I've decided to do a series of twin flames IRL in real life. It's going to have to be a series because it's a really long journey. I found my twin flame early on, and so to begin this first chapter, we're going to have to go back to 2006. I was in a long-term relationship with an ex at the time, which was about to start heading south in a very unpleasant way. It was the start of the summer, and me and my ex were on a night out up in the Midlands. And that was the first time I saw my twin flame. He was there. I saw him. I didn't think anything in particular. I mean, how could I have known? How could I have possibly have known? I mean, since then I have gone through... excuse me. Since then I have gone through my journals from that weekend to see if there was any clues in there, and there was no reference to him at all. My mind was on other things, even though I had had a dream around this time that indicated that I was going to fall in love with someone. I didn't know who that was going to be when I had the dream. Yeah, anyway, I did speak to him. I said hello to him. I was saying hello to everyone, friends with everyone, full of the joys of spring, as you do. Didn't really think much about it. And then I saw him again at the end of the summer. It was the same day that my ex and I bought this Mazda MX-5 and went on a night out. We did west down the M4 for it to christen the car. And my man was there again. And he came over and talked about the last time he'd seen me. We'd only seen each other in passing, but we certainly remembered each other, and we certainly were drawn to each other. We'd certainly already found each other by the time we were introduced later on by a mutual friend. Didn't think anything of it. Obviously, wasn't thinking very much at that time. I didn't really speak to him much for the rest of the night, and my ex and I spent most of the night talking to another mutual friend that we'd met that night. Didn't think anything more of it. And so now we fast forward to 2007. It was March. And I was doing a work placement, teaching English to speakers of other languages, and I was on their computer because I still didn't have internet at home. And it was spring, and I was in the mood for planning holidays and weekends away over the summer, and I booked a couple of tickets to a festival. And I told my ex, hey, I've got 2 tickets, and I must have had some sort of block because my twin flame was going to be there, but somehow it didn't register. It went over my head. Anyway, come the end of June, we went to the festival. It was an absolute mud bath. Great British weather for the Great British summer. I did a bungee jump with a blind man who was in the techno room for the rest of the weekend. My God, that was an incredible experience. And my ex-partner's mental health was getting worse and worse. Had been getting worse and worse, and he was basically being a complete tosser to me for the whole weekend. And yeah, my twin flame was there. Still didn't know who he was to me. Still had no clue. But he took my mind off my ex, which was a good thing. It felt peaceful. It felt spiritual. Took me away from all that crap. And after then, I started really getting into the musical genres associated with my twin flame rather than the genres that my ex-partner was playing. I didn't think anything of it at all at the time. Truth be told, my ex knew months before I did. And then I saw an advert for a flyer for an event at the New Year. I saw his name and I thought, oh, I am so there. And I was still with my ex-partner. We went there New Year's Eve, 07, 08, yeah. And it certainly blew the cobwebs away. Oh yes, what a night that was. And then I didn't see him again until May a full-on weekend event. And this was it. This was absolutely it. I was dancing. My ex was in another room listening to a different genre. Twin Flame was playing like I had done many times before, and I was dancing, jogging along, as you do, and it was track 5. Yeah, I just happened to look up, and my jaw dropped. Whoa! And I just thought, oh my fucking God. A few minutes after I had that thought, the MC on the mic shouted out, oh my fucking God. He picked up on my thoughts. I've got the CD, I had the CD from the night. I know exactly at which point I had that thought. And exactly the point at which the host shouted it out a few minutes later. Yeah, I had just come into full recognition as to who my twin flame was to me, and he looked utterly divine. I was absolutely blown away. It was a tsunami. Since then, that was it. It has been it ever since. I had no idea what was happening to me. The soul recognizing itself in another. Yeah, and this is what the twin flame journey is, because we see God in our twin flame. But we have to see the God in ourselves as well, because that's what they're reflecting to you. And pretty much everyone sees the reflection and then they smash their face into the mirror. Yeah, if only I had had the teachings of Jeff and Shalia back then. But having said that, if your journey has unfolded over a number of years or decades, like my own has, you do come to a point where you realise that every moment, every experience of that journey, every step that was taken was absolutely necessary for your union and where you're going and your journey deeper into love. So it's all good. Okay. So we're up to this point in part 2. I'm going to be talking about what happened next when I saw him by an amazing coincidence just 2 weeks later. And it was the most obvious thing in the universe that he was feeling the same way. So sorry, just reminiscing there. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this first installment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.